Downsizing is directed by Alexander Payne and stars Matt Damon and Kristen Wiig and takes place in the near future where human shrinking is possible, and Matt Damon goes through a midlife crisis and shrinks himself. This is the most polarizing film I have ever seen. Before we even get into the review, I'm gonna watch the movie trailer. I haven't yet. You know, it came out because it showed at TIFF and everything, and I just stayed away from the trailer because I was seeing it so soon, and even though the movie comes out in December, so I'm gonna watch the movie trailer now, and I'm betting they only show footage from the first third of the movie. So let's check it out right now.
The cause of all the catastrophes we are seeing today is overpopulation. We are proud to unveil the only practical remedy to humanity's greatest problem. Are you ready?
I wonder if it's trying to be funny or not.
Ready.
Yeah, I guess a little bit.
Wow, that is wild.
There's not going to be anything from after the first third. I guarantee you.
That's Dave Johnson.
Hey, everybody.
And Carol. He never struck me as the kind of guy who'd go get small.
Downsizing takes the pressure right off.
Plus, you're really making a difference.
You mean all that crap about saving the planet?
Yeah.
Downsizing is about saving yourself. We live like kings. Got the best houses, best
It's in the movie for
restaurants,
2
Cheesecake
scenes,
Factory.
3
Got
scenes.
3 of them.
In Leisureland, your $52,000 translates to $12.5 million to live on for life.
Wow.
Do you understand that you will undergo the permanent and irreversible medical procedure
Got the
commonly
tone
known
right.
as downsizing, and that your bodies will be approximately 0.0364% of their current mass and volume?
Nervous?
Little. I'll see you on the other side.
This music. Bald Damon was horrifying. Got rid of the nudity.
Hey, how's everybody doing today?
You may find yourself behind the wheel of a large automobile.
Okay, so no spoilers, which is good.
With a beautiful wife. And you may say to yourself, my God, what have I done?
I guess out of context you wouldn't know.
The small world is filled with things to see.
That is the only scene Neil Patrick Harris is in.
Same as it ever was.
Sometimes you think we're in the normal world, and then something happens.
Oh my God.
And you realize we're not.
I don't know. Okay, I was pretty much right. 80% of that trailer is from the first 45 minutes of the movie. And let me tell you, the first 45 minutes of this movie are fantastic. I was so invested. It didn't even feel like I was watching a movie. I believed every second, and I kind of wish the downsizing aspect was real. I loved it. 45 minutes into the movie, I was thinking this was a 9 out of 10. It's just everything had going. The story was good. The concept was clever as hell, and I was really impressed by that. And Matt Damon and Kristen Wiig's chemistry was brilliant. And then it was just taking off, and this movie nosedives. I cannot believe after the 45-minute mark how big of a disaster this turns into. Downsizing is the biggest mess of a film and an edit since Suicide Squad. I honestly cannot believe, I can't fathom what the hell happened with this movie and what happened in the editing room and what the writers were thinking. There's just so much to cover here. Okay, the acting, Damon is good. This is the Matt Damon I wanted to see in Suburbicon and didn't get, so I like him here for the first half until it completely gets off the rails. And Kristen Wiig was my favorite part. I loved her, and she wasn't really funny at all. She was just like the wife, the anxious wife, and her and Damon, I really bought them as a married couple. That completely sold me. And then after around 30 minutes into the movie, when Kristen Wiig is out of the picture and you never see her again, yeah, Christoph Waltz is fine. Definitely not the best I've seen him, but he's a good actor. And Hong Chow. This is harsh, but she just might be the most annoying character in a movie since Jar Jar Binks.
This is very, very bad.
This movie is bad, but it has so many good ideas and the acting is fine, but the plot is a mess. I am so on the fence about it. This is a 5 out of 10. Now, I can't continue without spoiling it, and I know it's really early before the movie comes out. So, those are my initial thoughts on Downsizing. If you don't want me to spoil it, come back after you see it in December, and then... Okay, so if you're still here, I'm expecting you don't care about spoilers, so we're gonna just get into it. Basically, up to an hour in the movie, this is about Matt Damon. You know, he gets shrunk to 5 inches, like that, and Kristen Wiig backed out at last second. They get a divorce, he's all depressed, then he befriends Christoph Waltz's character, and he kind of starts getting out of his shell. And by the time you meet Christoph Waltz's character, you just about forget, and the movie doesn't take into account how they're 5 inches tall. It puts it in the extreme background, and they solely focus on Matt Damon's character up until he meets Hong Chow's character. Basically, Matt Damon's an occupational therapist, and Hong Chow, who's Christoph Waltz's cleaning lady, he sees that she has a really bad leg, and so Matt Damon befriends her, and he tries to fix the leg, and he breaks the leg, and then he becomes her bitch. And he does all her work for her, and she's really big into like all the homeless people. So 15 minutes of the movie, you see them feeding the homeless, and you get completely off track of Matt Damon becoming better, which also previously got off track of Matt Damon being small and being betrayed by his wife. So those are 3 plots right here, and it gets even weirder. Then, almost an hour 45 into the movie, basically, Christoph Waltz invites Matt Damon's character to go visit the pioneers of the downsizing, and then you find out the world's ending, and that the pioneers have built a tunnel, and then Matt Damon's like, oh, I should live in the tunnel for the rest of my life, and it's a whole apocalypse story. No apocalypse really happens, but it just gets so off track, and you lose complete sense of them being small, and I just don't understand what the point is or who edited this. Now, I was keeping a very close eye on this months ago because I found out through my ways that after the first test audiences saw the 2-hour 30-minute cut of this movie, said it was terrible. And then they re-edited it maybe a month ago to 2 hours 15, so they cut 15 minutes out, and that's what I saw today. It is so obvious that just random things were cut out to make this a little shorter, because there are scenes missing, the passage of time makes no sense. You get like a opening prologue, and then it's like 5 years later, and then 5 minutes after that you get 1 year later, and then 20 minutes later you get a 1 week later, and it's so ridiculous. Or a couple weeks later, then there's more time jumps. There's like 2 years later. There's maybe like 6 time jumps in this movie, and maybe if you use it 2 or 3 times, that's okay, unless you're telling a large epic. And I'm getting hints that some of the time this is trying to be like a large epic film, telling like Cloud Atlas, like a mass variety of stories of a lifetime. And then there's points where Matt Damon wants to see if his penis got small, and there's other jokes, that are so many like jokes about sex and stuff, and Matt Damon tries drugs for the first time, so that becomes a slapstick comedy. And then it's also a drama because Matt Damon's depressed, his wife left him. There's such an interference of tones, the movie never knows what it wants to be. So in that sense, you could just say the plot gets so overcomplicated with itself. It becomes so convoluted. You don't even remember what happened 20 minutes ago because there's just so much happening in this like Matt Damon comedy that's also a little bit of a drama that's trying to be like an epic. So now the movie's 2 hours and 15 minutes. Now, my guess would be there's like 10 minutes of credits, so it's more 2:05. And it's so obvious that there's so much cut. This has such an abrupt ending. I was fully expecting the movie to have an extra 15 minutes after the credits roll, because I was just not ready for it to end at all. No loose ends get tied up. There's no clue resolution for any character. I honestly am shocked. Now that being said, I'm not saying there should be more time added because the movie's long enough, but there should be even 20 minutes more taken out because the story's so overcomplicated and it does not need to be. Now, something I'm very interested to see is, it is September 13th, 2017, and this movie I believe is supposed to come out Christmas 2017. Now, from knowing things like this happen in the past, for example, my friend saw Atomic Blonde at South by Southwest, and it was kind of different than the one that came out 4 months later in theaters. I am very curious to see what happens between now and Christmas and the difference between the two cuts of the movie, because I am willing to bet money that the cut I saw today will not be the one you are seeing. So overall, I just can't fathom, because the movie has such good ideas. I really want to stress that. It's really, really, really smart. It's such a smart film. But the edit and the writing is a complete disaster. So, Downsizing was an experience. I'm not mad. I don't hate the movie. I'm just so interested of what went wrong, because I just think that's really interesting, and because it's such a big kind of movie. It's coming out on Christmas. Matt Damon is in it, which is a big name. It's made by a big studio, Paramount, and it's playing at film festivals. What? I don't think there's more I can say. I've talked for so long. I hope you guys enjoyed my insight, and yeah, Downsizing. I don't know if you want to see it or not. I hope I kind of made you more intrigued and made you want to go see it, just so you can see it for yourself to believe me, but I don't even know at this point. So guys, like and subscribe. I have more TIFF content coming your way, so stay tuned and I will see you later. One last thing, make sure you go follow at Striffleric, at Pretty Much It. My guy Eric Striffler, he has been a YouTuber I've been watching for the last 5 years of my life. He created the post-movie trailer reactions. I really wanted to do one for you guys because not a lot of people have seen Downsizing yet, and I just thought it was really interesting. So make sure you go give him a follow and watch his post-movie trailer reactions. I will see you guys in my next video.
Was he slow? No. Good kid, devil behind the wheel. Was he slow? Retarded means slow. Was he slow?